Hey, welcome to Cruise Control Motoring, your on-air automotive magazine. I'm Fred Staab, and along with me, as always, is Les Jackson. Les, how you doing?
That's me. Hey, great, Fred. Great. It's been a very interesting week.
Let's start off with something that is potentially great.
Yes.
All signs point to the Hemi V8 returning to the engine bay of the new Dodge Charger. Could that reveal happen next month in Las Vegas? We'll fill you in.
We both are betting heavily that it will. Because we're certain that it will. I mean, why wouldn't they? Anyway, the $7,500 tax incentive on EVs, buying new EVs, is a thing of the past, as everybody knows, for new electric buyers. But the Hyundai has a plan to keep sales up and involves slashing the MSRP. But there's no way that they're going to slash it that far. You think?
It's a pretty big number. I know the numbers, so we'll tell you. But meanwhile, over at Tesla, they've gone for cost cutting the decontenting way. Think no radio and only manual control side view mirrors.
That's just, I mean, that's really sad. I think it's also funny. And Audi shares details on the new A6. That's a really popular model.
Yeah, and it's a sedan, Les Jackson. And
It
Kia
certainly is.
says goodbye to one of its most popular models, and I think some hamsters or the hamsters might be a little upset about it.
And Subaru's sedan leaves a sales legacy, meaning the legacy, as the last one rolls off the line, even when they're selling well.
And hybrid partnership. Nissan might team up to share its hybrid tech, which is kind of new, with another major manufacturer. Is that part of their Phoenix plan? Well, we'll see that and more when we get rolling on this edition of Cruise Control Motoring.
Well, Fred, I know it's no surprise to you, and we've been looking for this. There's a massive investment, all but guarantees a new Hemi V8 Dodge Charger is coming. We've been talking about the Hemi V8. Everybody that knows Dodge loves the Hemi V8.
Yep.
So Stellantis has really been, they're just way ahead of their game ever since their dearly or not so dearly departed president left. I've already forgotten his name.
His name can't be mentioned.
That's right. Their V8 muscle cars and trucks replaced them with models powered by other powertrains like electric and even inline sixes, and customers didn't like it.
Yeah, the electric Charger is not selling well. They're talking like 50% discounts. And, another clue, Les, is that they were going to bring out the Banshee, which was going to be their top-of-the-range electric vehicle with over 800 horsepower. The rumor mill says now that is gone. So what will replace it? Well, let's prognosticate for a while. We know the Hemi's coming. I'm going to say that since they're going to be building the Hemi in the U.S., that's one of the things that they're going to be doing. I think you might see something with a power adder, perhaps a turbocharged Hemi. I mean, obviously we've had supercharged, but what about a twin turbo Hemi? That could be something where I think they're going to go for numbers around like the ZR1 over 1,000. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they know that the customers want that.
Yes.
And their engineers love it because they love designing these cars around those drivetrains.
Yeah.
So, and they also love the fact that the former CEO isn't around anymore.
Who really disliked V8s. Didn't understand.
Imagine what it was like inside the company toward the end.
Yes. Well,
Ooh,
I think it will be a range. You'll probably see a 5.7 version. You'll see a 6.2 version. You'll see supercharged versions. You'll see probably a top of the range model. So here's my theory. I believe we're going to see this very soon at the SEMA show, the end of October. They put out a teaser photo that has a plum crazy charger there. And, I don't know. It could mean that we're going to see at least the Hemi dropped into that vehicle at the show. Maybe it's a one-off. It's to show it can fit. But
yeah.
I think we will probably see that there, and it's almost a definite that they're going to do that. Um,
Well, yeah, especially since, Tim Kuniskis was named the American operations head, and he's the father of the Hellcat.
mhm.
So this guy knows what he's doing, and he knows what his customers want, and he knows how to market this stuff.
Yes.
And you market it at SEMA, and you get so
Y-
much buzz for your dollar that you
Right.
can't even count it.
Right. Now, what better place to reveal that? I mean,
Yeah.
and this will only be to show, yes, it does fit between the fenders of the new Dodge
And
Charger.
and I know I'm going to predict this right now that big open area outside the convention hall, you're going to see whatever it's stuffed in doing burnouts you have never seen before in your life.
Big burnouts, big drifts, you bet. It's
Yep.
definitely going to be happening. So stay tuned to Cruise Control Motoring because we will have all the latest when it comes out. Moving on to a completely different story and a completely different segment of the automotive world. Hyundai made some interesting announcements this week. Of course, the $7,500 uh, tax credit, federal credit, is gone. There may be still some state credits for buying electric vehicles. But Hyundai made huge news this week. They have a way of dealing with this loss of the $7,500, and this is real money. They break down the
It is.
price, the 2026 price of the Ioniq 5, which is a great vehicle, by the way. It is my favorite electric vehicle. It's roomy, it drives well, everything from the base model all the way up to the Ioniq 5N. But listen to some of these reductions. Now, starting with the Ioniq 5 SE rear-wheel drive, standard range, it sold for an MSRP of $42,600 in 2025. The new MSRP is $35,000.
$7,600.
$7,600 less, right? Uh,
That's the federal subsidy right there. And it gets better.
yes,
This is I just wonder if they have to at least be breaking even somehow, but they're
somehow.
certainly not making money.
Somehow, yeah. Now check out some of these other numbers. Um, this was a big one. The Ioniq 5 SEL rear-wheel drive model, and that is $9,800 less for
Wow.
2026 than from the 2025 model year. That's crazy. Same goes for the Ioniq 5 SEL all-wheel drive. Was 53,100. Now it is 43,300. I mean, we've talked
Yep.
about other manufacturers cutting, hey, well, it's 500 less, but whatever. But these are huge numbers, and it doesn't mean that they're stripping anything out of the vehicles. They're not
No.
decontenting them. So I've never seen anything like that as far as
I've
a
never seen
reduction.
anything like this other than when they're just getting rid of a model they can't sell.
Hmm.
And this is not the case with the Ioniq 5. I worry a little bit about the resale value of the ones already out there.
Hmm. Yeah.
because this affects, not to mention the people that just bought one.
Yeah.
But that's the risk you take when you buy anything like that.
Well,
Um,
and it's typically not you don't think it's going to go down, you think it's going to go up in the next
well,
year.
yeah,
Yeah, it might have a few features. More than likely it will go up maybe $500, something like that. But this is huge.
yes,
I know someone that just bought one, and I immediately thought of him when I thought, "Oh my gosh, look, even like models like their Ioniq 5 XRT all-wheel drive. That's their off-road version. They even have one, the XRT all-wheel drive with tow hitch,
yeah.
which is funny. That was 55,950 if you get the tow hitch. It's now 46,725. That's $9,225 off the price. I would feel very upset if I bought a
Well,
2025. I feel
I
like I
would
really
too.
left a lot of money on the table, right?
Well, yes, but if I hadn't bought one and I was interested in one and couldn't afford it, well, now I could afford it. So I guess my question to you, Fred, is what how many extra Ionic 5s are going to get sold? So even by the end of the year, I would think the numbers will be just staggering.
I think so. And as you say, how do they absorb this? I'm not sure. Um, Maybe sell more Tellurides. They're going to have a new Telluride out, which is going to be
Hmm.
popular. Who knows? But it is big news. So I tell you what, if you're going to a dealer and saying, should I buy an Ionic 5 now, a 2025, or wait for 2026? I can answer that very easily. Wait.
Yeah.
Wait,
Well, which is
because
a problem because what does the dealer do with his inventory?
I don't know. Sell it at 2026 prices, but I'd still rather have the new model.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a company that's taking a different approach to reducing the price of electric cars, and that is none other than our friends at Tesla. They call these the standard versions. And if you recall, Tesla said, "Well, we want to reduce our costs, the cost of the vehicle. They're going to make that $25,000 Tesla, and then one day they said they weren't going to do it. No surprise. That's
Hmm.
kind of how they do it. But now they've come up with another way, and it is the kind of the old-fashioned. Well, we're just going to decontent things and make a cheaper version. And so what they've done is they have come out with the standard versions. So that means they're heavily decontented. No radio. Of course, the radio is software. So the entry level Model 3 and Model Y do not have a radio. They also don't have power adjustable side view mirrors,
That
which
just
that is the
seems
only car
it
sold without power adjustable
just seems
mirror.
incredible that they would do that. Um, I, it can't save that much money. A manually adjusted mirror isn't much cheaper.
No,
Uh,
especially if you have to make it specifically for one model. Um, I
yeah.
mean, now here's the really strange thing. So the standard models don't come with a glass roof. So instead of making it out of steel, um, they just put a headliner over it and hide it. And I guess they're
Classy.
going to cover it somehow.
Classy.
It's still there. But doesn't that cost more to add a headliner? I mean, couldn't you just
It's
say
got
leave it?
to. It's
And
just got well, but they don't have to put the motor in there.
I don't know. I don't know.
It
Who knows?
it
Maybe they
seems
put the motor in there and just leave the wires dangle.
maybe so. They also lose auto steer.
which might be a good
is
thing.
such a big thing. And they accelerate slower because they get a smaller battery.
No adaptive headlights, no subwoofer. Here's a big one,
Wow.
no HEPA filter. I also take the bulbs, the LEDs out of one taillight, you know?
Yeah. It's the old days of, Mad Harry's used car lot where he sells the stripped out models
Right. Yeah.
uh, with, no seat covers and
Yeah.
no carpets.
Yeah. And also
Wow.
things, steel wheels with plastic hubcaps, replace alloys. It's the performance takes a hit, especially with the Model Y. The Model Y needs 6.8 seconds to reach 60 miles an hour compared to 5.4 for the premium model. So it's pretty bad.
Well,
Look,
this is no surprise whatsoever to me
I
because
think
I'm skeptical, but
look at that dash; it's got nothing in it. it's, it's just a big piece of
well,
plastic. So,
but it's a handy place, to put your extra coffee cup and your glasses and
well, here, remember on the Hyundai Ioniq 5, I said wait for the 2026. It's 10 grand
Mhm.
less in certain cases and probably has even more features. In this case, don't buy this. Don't buy these standard models.
No,
Go
don't.
ahead and find a used Tesla. If you really want a Tesla, go ahead and find a used one, the premium level, because they're selling for very, very low money.
Yeah.
And that is the better bet here because there's probably a lot of used Teslas that you could get into that will have things like a radio or, adjustable mirrors. Actually, that's a safety issue. You have a car with a console. How are you going to ever
That's right.
how are you going to ever do that? I mean, what I guess you have the old manual way with a cable and a little
Well, you have your
joystick.
passenger reach their hand out and okay, just push it down a little bit. This is exactly like driving British sports cars in the 1960s, where the mirrors, if you had a right hand mirror, you had your friend
Pull it
tilt
to
it for you.
yeah.
So I think in the Tesla showroom they should have a big sign placard there that says, "And here's our Model 3 Standard. Welcome to 1986."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Are they going to have
Wow.
the rear window defroster defogger with the little blower in it, as opposed to the electrical wires in the window? I don't know. I don't know,
Uh,
but
it, it's
it's
it is
it's. Ugh. I would say, as I just said, buy a used premium model, get something that's nice. Hey, let's talk about one company that's not cutting things from their vehicle, not decontenting, and that is Audi. Audi came out with more details on the A6, a beautiful sedan, mid-size luxury sedan, performance, refinement, technology, and it is a thing of beauty. Um, they have more technical specs. We knew this was coming, but now we have some details on it. Quattro all-wheel drive is standard. The powertrain has been revised to be quieter and has 27 more horsepower. Here's how you do it, right? You add things to
yep,
make people
yep,
buy
yeah,
them.
you add value.
Right. 362 horsepower, 37 more pound-feet of torque at 406 than the previous A6. And 0 to 60 is 0.6 of a second quicker as opposed to multiple seconds slower.
Mm-hmm.
And at first time, it is available, the A6, with dynamic enhancements that were only available on the S6 models previously. So you can get a little bit of that S6 flavor in the A6. Adaptive air suspension with electronically controlled dampers comes standard on the Prestige level, which is the top of the range model. And 4-wheel designs are available from 19 to 21 inches on this vehicle. So this is quite the machine, and pretty excited about it. So let's talk about pricing on this, Les. The premium A6 goes for $64,100. The Premium Plus goes for $67,500, and the Prestige, the top of the range model, goes for $71,400. You add in the destination of $1,295. This is quite a machine, and it is well equipped, and it is thoroughly updated. So exciting stuff.
They come with basically everything, and I know a couple people that owned A6s, and they just love them.
Yeah,
and their headquarters is on the Dulles Access Road out here in Virginia, outside of D.C., and they have balconies. They're on about the 6th floor of this big building. And they have their cars on the balcony.
And that had to be expensive.
And I was driving back just a few days ago from out beyond Dulles, and I happened to notice all the balconies had A6s on them.
Wow.
So they're showing off.
They are showing off, and they have a lot to show off for sure.
Oh yeah.
And they have radios.
And their mirrors actually work electrically.
Yeah, and if they have a glass roof, they don't put a headliner over it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's okay. It's $64,000 to $71,000. That seems like a lot, but this is a very, very high end car, and you could spend a lot more money and not get quite as much.
Hey, let's go over to Ford for a bit. This was an interesting piece that came up. It was from Jim Farley, Ford's CEO, and he was surprised, basically, that customers did not go for $75,000 EVs.
Why would he be surprised?
Well, here's the quote from Jim Farley, the CEO of Ford. They, meaning purchasers, definitely surprised us. Customers are not interested in a $75,000 electric vehicle. They find them interesting. They're fast. They're efficient. You don't go to the gas station, but they're expensive. See.
Okay.
Let's remember when the big push for electric cars came in, the average price of a car was what? In the upper 30s for
the average transaction price was 38 or so.
So you thought you were going to jump it to like 70, 80? I mean, that's a big
double.
Jump.
That's not a jump. That's
double.
A bungee drop.
So you think about it, it's like, yeah, they are fast. Yes, they still have issues and development time and charging, how to work that all out. But even with that, you can't jump the price. You can't double the price. People are definitely not going to do it for double. If it was less expensive, they would go for them. Or if it was maybe $10K, $15K over a gas-powered car, they might go for them, but not if they're that much more. So I don't really. Do they really think that? I mean,
I think that the board, where the guys are in the boardroom talking about all this stuff and speculating on what they want to do. I think it's a case where you become too integrated in your own company and fail to see what's outside the window. And these discussions, when they were bringing these things out, happened several years ago, and they said, well, this is exciting technology, and it saves a lot of money. You don't have to put gas.
It's exciting.
Well, yes, but they lose sight of the fact that, electric vehicles don't spend the money on gas, but if the electric vehicle is twice as much as the gas-powered vehicle, you're never going to amortize the vehicle over the lifetime you're going to own it in electric savings, because it's just not, unless you drive a 500,000 miles.
Right.
So I just think they lost sight of the practicality of all this.
Yeah, the old get the big picture. Maybe they're a little too insulated, staying in the
Yeah.
corporate world. And like, didn't anyone think to ask like customers, like, hey, if you could have this car where you didn't have to go to the gas station, um, would you pay $80,000 for it? And I think most people would say no, because that is the big thing about buying a vehicle, price. I think they would say no, but
Yeah.
who knows? Who knows?
I mean, every company needs a guy named Lewis, or
Okay.
you pick the name, whose job it is to always look at the negative parts of any idea
Right.
and to bring them up in meetings. Yes, but
Yes, but
you need that person.
well, this is a little bit of a negative, and it is not Ford's fault. The Ford F-150 is going to face a critical part shortage. It is perhaps one of the biggest parts. It is aluminum. There was, this is according to Automotive News, there was a fire in the Novelis aluminum plant in Oswego, New York, and it is taking that facility offline through the beginning of next year. And they are a big aluminum supplier to Ford because it is automotive grade aluminum for the body. Really not much they can do about this, except, one thing they've said, the other plants will pick up the slack, but if they can't, they might just start building high-end models to keep that money coming in. I think about this with things changing and cafe softening. Would have they gone with an aluminum body, or would have they stayed with a traditional sheet metal? Maybe done half and half.
I think they would have stayed with high strength steel. It is regular steel, automotive steel, is 1/4 per pound the cost of aluminum.
Mm-hmm.
High strength steel is still half the cost of aluminum. So yeah, they would have, I think, stayed with steel,
or maybe done like the hood, the doors, the roof,
a deck lid or a hood. Land Rover does the roof and the hood and the deck lid, so that the vehicles can lean further off road, but just lower.
But they use something different. They use aluminium, not aluminum.
Yes, that is the atom, the name of the atom, the element.
Now, aluminum was aluminium originally in the U.S. when it came out.
Yeah, it was.
But it got changed for some reason. I guess they thought.
Yeah, the industry aluminium was a little bit too difficult to pronounce.
Sounds
and the industry, especially the TV shows in the 1950s, a couple of them were produced by the Alcoa Aluminum Company.
Exactly. Hey, let's talk about a bit of automotive history that is going away. And this is a shame because this is a very affordable car, certainly under 30, in many cases under 25, and that is the Kia Soul. The Kia Soul, you think back to the time when this came out, the Cube and the other Scion box. It was a whole thing about boxy model vehicles, right? And they were, a box is probably the best thing to put something in. These were small vehicles, and they were popular. It was a whole kind of segment. The only one that survived was the Soul. And now, at the conclusion of the 2025 model year, it's going away. Sad to see it go. Remember the hamsters?
Very,
Ham
very
stars,
much.
ham
Yes,
stars.
the
They were.
ham stars and great commercials with the hamsters.
Yep.
Uh, I love those commercials, and I always wondered if except that I found out later that it wasn't the case. The first time I heard from auto designers that in the industry, the name of the little bumps on the inside of your steering wheel
Hmm.
that keep your fingers more secure are called hamsters. Uh,
Because
but it's not because of the Kia. They've always been called hamsters.
they're like a hamster that's been swallowed by a snake. That's what I heard.
Yeah, right, right. So, but what a great, it's just a great uh, advertisement for the car. It's like dogs and the Subarus.
Yeah.
Everybody loves animals.
I think it's sad that it's going away. I mean, it's had a great
Yeah,
run. Um, I guess they just didn't want to invest more. There's going to be an entry level electric vehicle that will take its place, but seriously, there's only a few thousand out there yet at dealers, but it is a great value. It's proven technology, front wheel drive, great first car, has all the safety gear. It's not bad. I remember driving one a couple of years ago to review, and I thought, this is not bad. I could live with this as a basic runaround car. Uh, of course, it came with just about everything from Kia, even in some of the, one or two steps up, wireless charging and Android Auto, Apple CarPlay.
yep.
So it's a good vehicle. It's probably a good used vehicle. There's a lot of them around, and it's
They're
kind of fun.
reliable.
It's
They're
kind of
very
fun.
reliable.
Yeah.
They've won since 2009 when they came out. They've won 53 awards for, like 10 coolest cars and safety pick and best family cars, and just good for them. It's a great product. There will always be nostalgia for it.
Yes, there are groups for it and it was originally drawn by Mike Torpy. I actually got to interview him. Sadly, he's passed. He was a interesting guy, a very nice guy, and he said he thought of it as a wild boar wearing a backpack. To create. And that was his influence. I
Okay.
remember asking him about it. And very nice guy, and it was designed in California, and I'm kind of sad to see it go. I would have liked to seen the next
Yeah.
generation of it. But hey, that happens, and we're going to report about it in the automotive world. The other interesting story about a model going away this week comes from Subaru, and that is the Legacy. The Legacy is their, or was their, one and only sedan, but it is a very successful sedan, especially sales-wise. Going out, it made some big gains in the sales. The last one came off the line, I believe, this month, and it was up. Sales were up 18.5%.
Wow.
Over the last year. So I guess there were deals, right?
Deals, and enough people really love the Legacy. Again, super reliable, super functional, a bargain.
All-wheel drive standard.
Yep. It's just a terrific vehicle.
Yes.
So it's going out. It's great always going out at the top.
Yeah. It's interesting. I had a friend go to a Subaru dealer, and she wanted that. She said, I just want a car. I don't want a crossover. And they're like, don't buy that. You won't be able to sell it. What they meant was, we won't be able to sell it if you bring it back to us.
That's right.
But I think that is also probably a very good buy if you can find one on a dealer's lot, because then they will want to sell it because it's there. And it's probably a good used car to buy as well,
Well, yeah. Again, this is another car I'm going to miss. I like these cars. I don't own one, but I just like having them around. I think they have a place.
Yeah, I think so too. Hey, it's not clear if this one has a place though in the Subaru lineup going forward. There's a lot of talk that they may eliminate the BRZ. They may even eliminate all their performance cars. But let's talk about this. The 2026 Subaru BRZ, the pricing on this. And they have a couple of models, three actually, the BRZ Limited, the BRZ TS, and the BRZ Series Yellow, which I believe comes in yellow.
Of course.
So the BRZ Limited is available with the 6-speed manual transmission or 6-speed electronic direct control automatic, starting at $35,860. 18-inch matte gray alloy wheels, Michelin Pilot Sport 4 summer tires, Torsen limited slip diff. Remember, this is a rear-wheel drive car. This is not all-wheel drive.
That's right.
It's only rear-wheel drive car in the lineup. And it also features ultra suede with red leather accents on the inside and a Subaru 8-inch multimedia display system. That is priced at $35,860. Then the next one up the chain is the BRZ TS, and that's starting at $38,360.
Which
Gets an
getting up there.
Getting up there. STI tuned Hitachi dampers to complement the coupe's lightweight design. 4-piston front and 2-piston rear calipers with larger rotors. It's good stuff, Les. It's all good stuff to include in there, but you are going to pay for that $38,360. And then the BRZ Series Yellow, because it is sunrise yellow, Subaru Hallmark color. It was used on the first generation of the Subaru XV Crosstrek and Japan-only Subaru BRZ STI. That is also available for $39,360. So, it's will the BRZ stick around? Of course, it is like the Model 86. It is a joint deal between Toyota and Subaru. There's even some talk that Toyota might find another partner to partner up with for the next generation of their 86.
Maybe so. By the way, you can buy, for those of you who have a BRZ, you probably already know this, but for $3,000, you can buy a big turbocharged unit that bolts on. It perfectly fits everything in your BRZ and turns it into a WRX.
Wow.
Adds 100 horsepower.
Wow.
And it comes with a suspension kit and steering kit, and the thing is just bottle lightning on the track and on the streets. That's a pretty good kit.
Yeah, that's a pretty good kit. That's a great little performer, a perfect autocrosser.
Yeah.
That is fun, and you can get it with an automatic or a manual as well. Will it stick around the Subaru lineup? Who knows? But we will have to see.
I don't think so. But maybe they'll come out with something different. They really need, Toyota owns a part of Subaru. So maybe they need that funding to put out something like that.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about another potential partnership, and this is involving Nissan. Nissan may partner with Ford. Now, we just talked about Jim Farley, the CEO of Ford, saying, I don't know why people didn't want $75,000 EVs. Now the scramble is on to get hybrids into the mix. And Nissan has a new hybrid coming out for the Rogue. It's got an interesting power system. They call it Nissan's e-Power Hybrid, and it is a 1.5-liter engine that serves as a generator for a single electric motor that turns the front wheels. This is in Japan right now. So it isn't really charging the battery. It is also turning the wheels as well, the engine. But because of this setup, they don't need a transmission. So it's much lighter.
Yeah, and cheaper.
So they're thinking perhaps this is something that they might team up on and get Ford to have their hybrids faster. And Nissan, of course, could use the money to stay in business.
Literally to keep the lights on.
Yes, to keep the lights on.
Yeah, and I hope this works. I hope it comes to pass. I think it would be a very interesting vehicle if they did this with Ford. The Rogue e-Power, the upcoming, is going to use this system. The engine just serves as a generator, and great idea.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? I mean, I honestly can't think of. It's not new technology. It's just new packaging.
Yeah, it's a new way of looking at it. New way of looking at it for sure. So we'll have to see if that comes to pass. But GM and Ford are really pushing hybrids. They don't have them in their lineup, and they're saying 2027 model year, but people want them now. All right, well, let's go on to an interesting story about Lexus heritage. The LS, it was the Lexus that started it all way back when, and it is going to be going away, the LS model. Seems like that is a theme of this week's cruise control motoring. Vehicles going away.
Yeah.
This was the original model brought to the U.S., the LS, and that kind of introduced the brand. And they have a way, since it's going away, they're going to pay homage to it with the 2026 LS 500 all-wheel drive Heritage Edition. And it's limited to 250 units in the United States. It will be offered as a monospec finished in the striking new Lexus first ever exterior color 90 Noir over the LS first Rioja red interior. Basically black with a red interior.
Black with a red, yeah.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to get that.
Yeah. Nice combo, classic combo, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So 36 years ago, the Lexus LS became the flagship luxury sedan. It basically introduced Lexus to the United States, and they're going to sell 250 of these in the U.S. Starting MSRP, that does include delivery, processing, and handling fee, is $99,280.
Okay.
Collectability, what do you say on this, Mr. Jackson?
Well, I don't know about the Heritage Edition being collectible, but I think anyone who has an original LS, that's collectible. That's the very first car I ever tested.
Really? That is
when I got into testing vehicles, and I actually had to go to the Lexus dealer and ask to test it. And back then, when you were driving everything that was a 1989 or 1990 car, the newest models, and you got into the Lexus and drove it, the difference was unbelievable. I actually reviewed it saying, this is as perfect as a vehicle can be.
What do you think it was? Sound deadening material?
Sound deadening, mostly smooth ride. No sound from the engine whatsoever. This was monumental in 1990. So yeah, it was just a huge, huge difference. Mercedes didn't touch it. Um, BMW didn't either. It
Plus, you
was,
had Toyota reliability.
oh yeah, yeah, but it
You know,
was,
so
you
it not only
just,
was it good, it would keep being good.
well,
it
that's right. And I don't remember the price, but I'm sure it was 35 or 40,000.
You'll remember this price though at almost 100 grand,
Oh
and
yes, oh yes.
I think there might be a little gouge on there if there's only 250 of them being sold. I love the night noir color outside.
That's right. Yeah.
um, but let's go on and talk a little tech here. Mercedes has put together a testing facility for lighting, an advanced light testing center. It is the most advanced version of this in the automotive industry. It will have robots at the wheel, fully automated endurance testing on demand rough road track. So you don't have anyone just kind of, at the wheel for a long time. And it is, of course, an incredible facility because most things that they would build would be incredible. Digital twin, all test modules will also be used digitally for preliminary simulations. A world of testing, over 30 modules across 53 miles of simulated roads. That is going to cost some serious money
That
to
that
build.
costs some serious money. That's all of the well, Volkswagen has their test facility like that where they test all of the Bugattis, and the Europeans believe in huge, long test tracks with every conceivable alteration in terrain and whatever.
Could this be the first one that's just for lighting, though?
I've never heard of anything before for lighting for driving
Mm,
lighting. Obviously, the Sylvania and the others have lighting test facilities,
right, but this is
but
real world.
yeah, but this is
Ju-
they're robots at the wheel.
it's
The cars are being
1,285 acres, and up to 400
yes,
vehicles can be on the road at one time. For
and
all robotically driven, that would be crazy.
exactly, and sheep prevent shrub encroachment.
Wow.
And llamas protect the herd of sheep.
I didn't
Uh,
I
I
didn't
mean,
know
this
that.
is so cool. I want to go there. This is cool.
They have a mountain road with a gradient of up to 16% and a serpentine curve, off-road tracks with gradients ranging from 30 to
Man,
100%. 100% gradient.
wait a minute.
How can does that even be possible?
That's straight up.
More than 100 charging stations for electric vehicles and 12 fuel pumps for combustion engine vehicles. LT based
Hmm.
proving ground management with collision warning system for test drivers. Fully equipped fire department, including its own rescue service. Wow. And it's only 1 hour from the Stuttgart headquarters. So look at the size of the facility. It's
That is, wow.
I just for lighting though. That's the thing. You know, they have to
Yeah.
use it for other things. I think they will. Beautiful, beautiful. That must have cost millions to build.
Oh, probably a couple hundred billion building all that.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
there's
wow.
that technology, but what about this? Have you ever have encounters with birds in your new car? I mean, maybe not. Now you can park your car inside, right? But have you
That's right.
ever parked somewhere where the birds kind of
Yes, I have. Um, frequently before I moved to the condo building with the underground garage, and I had a maple tree right over top of my driveway,
Mm-hmm.
and birds love maple trees,
Mm-hmm.
and they love white cars because it's good. It's a good target.
Well,
Um, and
this gets to our next story, because there has actually been a study that, I don't know if they polled birds for this, but there's something called Allen's Factory Outlet surveyed 1,000 drivers, and more than half of them have claimed that birds have deposited on their vehicles twice on more than one single day. So the birds have used your car basically as a toilet
yep.
twice or more in a single day. And about a third of those that were asked in the study stated that they felt personally targeted by their friends. So they did a study as to what cars or vehicles birds prefer for targets. And apparently brown cars and Ram pickup trucks are make the best
Well,
targets.
the Ram pickup truck is just a big target.
Yeah, that's
So
you don't need precision
no,
aiming for
no,
that.
you don't. You don't need a smart bomb. You just need a flyover,
Yes.
or there's a tree overlooking or over top of your car, and they just sit on the limbs, and off
And
they go.
off they go.
And and by the way, bird poop is very acidic,
Oh
and
yes,
you
it can
you want to
damage
wash
your
it
clear
off
coat.
quickly.
Yes, absolutely. Top vehicles that were targeted: Subaru, not number 10; Ford at number 9; Audis, Teslas; Kia came in at 6. Les Jackson.
There you are.
Dodge, number 5; Nissan 4; Chevrolet 3. Number 2 is Jeep, and number 1 is Ram.
Yeah.
And
Well,
birds apparently see color differently than we do. I don't
they
know.
do.
Yeah. So they say it could have something to do with UV light. That's kind of how they see. So don't ask me how they know how birds see, but they don't ask me how they know what cars they prefer other than seeing the results.
Well, it's a little known fact that birds can read the car logos.
They also know the level of trim, if that is a high-end
That's
model.
right. Trust me, I'm a scientist. I know.
I think
know
it's
about
as
this.
simple as, if there's a tree there, they fly
Yes,
away, and as they
that's it.
fly away, they probably...
Yeah, this is very, very simple. But bird vision is incredible. Eagles, of course, can see as good as a U-2 spy plane used to
That's
see.
right. They can see mice running around in a
yeah.
field and then dive down and
from a half a mile up.
Exactly.
And they have to. That's what they've evolved to do, is to go after whatever they're eating.
You have the ultimate solution. You just park inside, covered.
You park inside. There
Although
are very
they can
few
go
birds.
Birds can go in there, right?
Well, they can, but I've only seen one bird, and I was opening the garage door to get out, and the bird flew out.
Okay. So,
yeah.
What do you think? I mean, let us know in the comments. Allen's Factory Outlet. They surveyed 1,000 drivers, and more than half claiming they have been targeted more than twice.
I think everybody's been targeted.
Yeah. I actually have seen people targeted walking down New York City streets. I remember there was a guy in front of me. It's weird. I just looked up and I thought, wow, that's a really nice suit. And as I looked up, it looked like someone dropped an egg on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And I said, I hate to tell you this. And he goes, oh, no. I said, yeah, that looks like a nice suit, but now it has to be dry cleaned. I said, supposedly
Yes.
it's good luck. So you must, if you're going to a meeting,
Well,
maybe you'll get the job, maybe you'll
that's
get
right.
the
It wasn't good luck that day.
no,
Um,
no. I said, that's horrible. But it literally looked like someone dropped an egg on his shoulder. I was like, yeah. Anyway. Hey, I hope you've enjoyed this edition of Cruise Control Motoring. Don't forget to check us out on all our social media platforms and give us a like, give us a follow, give us a subscribe, whatever you do, we appreciate it. Time for me to say I'm Fred Staab.
I'm Les Jackson.
We're going to see you down the road.